It's the dictionary. 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 It's the dictionary.
Hey. Hey, word nerds. What's going on with you? Welcome to the dictionary. This is episode G35, and I want to tell you about the words in this episode. So put on your word pants and sit down for word story time. The first word in this episode is gazetteer. I gotta move this over here. Oh, I had an eye test just a couple of days ago, and my prescription has not changed, which means I still need progressive lenses, which means I still need to find a new set of frames, because these frames are not tall enough really for progressive, so gotta do that. Okay, gazetteer, Gazetteer, noun from 1611. Should we remind you of, from the previous episode, the word gazette? Let's see, official journal, an announcement in an official, a gazette, the newspaper, all those things. So, the gazetteer is number one, which is archaic. The synonyms are journalist and publicist. I don't know why we couldn't still use this. Archaic seems pretty extreme, if you ask me. I'm a gazetteer. I'm getting the story. Whatever. If it bleeds, it leads. Let's go do some research. Hey, everybody, what's going on down on the street? What's the word on the street? The word on the street is get out of my face, you gazetteer. I'm irritating. Number two. Let's see. Oh, it has its own etymology. This is a geographical dictionary. Also, a book in which a subject is treated especially in regard to geographic distribution and regional specialization. A geographical dictionary? A book about geographic things? And so is this like animals, how they're distributed or something's distributed? Well, let's look at this number two specific etymology. Because we know about the first one. We know that that's from the Gazette, from the Italian Gazzetta. But this one is from the gazetteers. That is the name of a thing, and this index with an apostrophe S at the end, and then colon, or newsman's interpreter. So it had two names, the gazetteers or newsman's interpreter, or maybe it was the gazetteer's interpreter or the newsman's interpreter. Either way, it was a geographical index edited by Lawrence Echard. Well, I kind of want to look up. Does the internet possibly have pictures of this? Well, I guess let's look up the newsman's interpreter. Let's see, the gazetteers. Oh, here we go. Yes, it had these two names. Oh, that is temporarily offline, that archive. Okay, what about this? Oh, you can get it on Amazon? But yes, here it is. It's the gazetteers or newsman's interpreter, being a geographical index of all the empires, kingdoms, islands, ... bishoprics, universities, ports, forts, castles, and more in Asia, Africa, and America. Wow, so this was really just like all this stuff. You know what? So this says the publication date was 2018, but I think that's a recent publication date because this thing sounds pretty old, if you ask me. All right, well, that's that. The gazetteer. But why? Were they like, ooh, we're gazing out into the world, all the geographical stuff, we're gazing, so we're the gazetteer maybe? Oh, guess what? I have to make a sound effect. Maybe I shall go, can I do that? I don't know. Maybe I'll go, slurp? Yep, that's it. That's what we're doing today. Next is gazillion. I love that this really probably fake word is in the dictionary. They're all fake, though. So, gazillion is a noun from 1977. The synonym, well, now that's interesting. The synonym is zillion with a Z. But is zillion even a real number Or is it just one of those numbers that we use just to say there's a lot? Yes, the dictionary on the internet says an extremely large number of people or things. We had zillions of customers. I don't think it is an official number with a specific amount of zeros in it. Um, I guess I have to not argue per se, but I have to say that maybe not everybody believes that a gazillion and a zillion are the same amount. But really, when you think about it, when you're using those words, gazillion or zillion, you're using them both in the context of it's a ton, it's a shitload. So yes, I guess they can pretty much mean the same thing. Some people were like, zillion, oh, I got zillions of these things. And then other people were like, you know what, that's not enough. What we need to add to really make it sound like a lot is a g. We need a g at the start of it. We must say gazillion. Gazillion is also an adjective. Gazillionth is also an adjective. We went down to the gazillionth degree, the gazillionth fraction of a thing. It's very small. This is an alternative of zillion, and that means we now have to move on to slurp. Gazillionaire. Someday I shall be a gazillionaire. Noun from 1980. The synonym is zillionaire, of course. They don't even know how much money they have. So they have so much money, they have zillions and gazillions of dollars. So they are a gazillionaire. Slurp. Next is gazogene. Gazogene. It's a variation of gasogene with an S. Slurp. Gazoo. Gazoo. Is this like a zoo that has a gazillion animals? Gazoo. Noun from 1965. It is slang, and the synonym is wazoo. Like, you've got a gazillion animals coming out your wazoo. Gazoo is the same, I guess. Okay, fine. Your gazoo. What do you use? Do you use wazoo or gazoo when you're saying this slang nonsense thing? What's coming out of your wazoo or your gazoo? I think I use wazoo probably when I'm saying things like that constantly. Slurp. Maybe you are slurping when you're eating some gazpacho. You can say gazpacho or gazpacho. Gazpacho, noun from 1775. It is a spicy soup that is usually made from chopped raw vegetables as tomatoes, onions, peppers, and cucumbers, and that is served cold. There's just something about cold soup that it's not that I don't like it. It's just something this just seems wrong in my brain. You know, I will definitely eat a gazpacho or a gazpacho, and I will like it, especially if it's flavorful and spicy. But you know, you just expect a soup to be hot, and then when it's not, you're like, well, this is weird. Okay, but I like it. The origin is unknown. Oh, well, that's interesting. No, sorry, that was gazoo. The origin for this is Spanish. That's what it is. Well, I don't know. I feel like I should look up is there an actual translation of this word to Spanish? I feel like maybe I would have heard that at some point. Let's type in gazpacho. Don't say it that way though. I feel like gazpacho it just means gazpacho. Gazpacho is gazpacho. Is there no proper translation for this? We thought, oh, this gazpacho is just so good, we don't need to translate this into, so we don't have a word in English that is good enough to describe the flavors of a gazpacho, the spiciness, the tomatoes, the onions, the peppers, the cucumbers, all the seasonings in there. We can't translate it properly, so we just have to use the Spanish word gazpacho. Slurp. Next is GB, all caps, first form, noun from 1961, and it does say the pronunciation is GB. GB, actually. Emphasize the second one. The synonym is sarin, S-A-R-I-N. Don't know what that is, but it does say that the etymology says it's a code name, GB is a code name for sarin, and I don't know what sarin is. The plot thickens. Someday we'll get to the S's and learn about sarin. Oh, the S's are going to be a big old section. Slurp. GB, second form, abbreviation for number 1, gigabyte. Number 2, Great Britain. Don't confuse your GBs. I've got a 500 gigabyte drive. I've got a 500 GB drive. You've got a 500 Great Britain drive? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't think that would confuse people so much. I think they would understand. Gigabyte. Oh, I type GB all the time for gigabytes. Not as much for Great Britain, surprisingly. Slurp. GC, all caps, abbreviation for gas chromatograph, or also gas chromatography. GC. Slurp. GCA, all caps, abbreviation for ground controlled approach. Ground control to major. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Ground control approach. Ground control approach. Tom. Slurp. GCB, all caps, abbreviation for Night Grand Cross of the Bath. When I take a bath, I am definitely the Knight Grand, or I would probably say the Grand Knight. I'm the Grand Knight of the bath, and I'm holding a cross. Sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of these British things. It's the Knight Grand Cross of the Bath, and I know there's a town called Bath, so is it something about that? British people, tell me all about this GCB. But why isn't it KGCB? It's the Knight, the K, the Knight. Slurp. GCD. Are we going to go through the whole alphabet? All caps, abbreviation for greatest common divisor. Would it also be greatest common denominator? No, because I think those are slightly different contexts. Maybe. Slurp. GCF, all caps, abbreviation for greatest common factor. Slurp. G-clef, capital G, next word, clef, noun from 1596. The synonym is treble clef, which I think is just your standard treble clef. If you have learned piano, guitar, when you were a child, when you were learning an instrument, you were most likely learning it in treble clef, which is also called G-clef, which I have heard but didn't remember because I didn't need that. There's more clefs out there than you would think. Okay, so that's that one. It's got the fancy squiggly S at the front, and they all have their 5 lines going across. But the point, the thing that distinguishes G-clef, I guess, from other clefs is that the line under the bottom line is middle C on a piano, right there in the middle. But why is it called G-clef? Is it because the G is... What's the G? Where's the G? The G is on like the second line, I think. Why is it called G-clef? Let's see. The treble clef is called the G-clef because its decorative spiral shape evolved... So that is literally the squiggly thing. The shape evolved from the letter G, and the curl specifically wraps around the second line from the bottom of the staff, identifying that line as the pitch G, specifically G above middle C. The symbol sets the pitch range for higher notes, hence its other name, the treble clef. So the curl specifically wraps around the second line. So there's a little picture that shows the the treble clef, like literally the shape of the thing, it goes up from the bottom, all the way above the lines, and then it curves to the right and then down, and then curves to the left going across the line, and then squiggles down to the first line, stops at the first line, which is E, and then goes up past the second line, which is G, up to the middle line, which is B, and then goes back down just to stop there. And so that bottom curve is completely enclosing the second line, which is G, and the shape is based on the letter G, evolved from the letter G. Oh, I don't know. That's a bit of a stretch to me. That's interesting. Okay. The medieval G, so I guess maybe it's different. But I did just today, just this morning, I was listening to the episode that aired today on Christmas Eve, and the word gamma was in there, and that was the lowest note in the medieval scale. And why did we start with gamma? And so maybe it's connected to that somehow. I don't know. It's very complicated. I think that they made some silly decisions back in medieval times when they were creating music. Now we have GD, abbreviation for good. Slurp. GD again, but the G is capitalized. This is a symbol for gadolinium. Gadolinium. Slurp. GDP, all caps, abbreviation for gross domestic product. Blah, get it out of here. Slurp. GDR, all caps, abbreviation for German Democratic Republic. Slurp. GE, abbreviation for gilt edges. Those edges are gilted, maybe? I'm not sure what gilt edges are. Slurp. GE again, the G is capitalized. It's a symbol for germanium. Germanium? Maybe it was made, created, founded in Germany. Slurp. We are now on our last word. We got two forms. It's the word gear. Gear. Get those gears turning. It's very hard sometimes to get these gears turning. I know some people really need this coffee substance to get their gears a-turning. Whoa. Look at them gears fly. All right, so this is the first form of the word gear, which is a noun from the 14th century. Number 1A, the synonyms are clothing and garments. Clothing and garments are your gear. Well, yes, of course. You like, hey, I got to put my gear on. Let's get going. All those garments I got, they're my gear. 1B, movable property, and the synonym is goods. So anything that can be moved around from place to place, that is your gear. Well, yeah, like musicians have gear. I, as a video person, I got a lot of gear. I can move it around from place to place because I got to go do a shoot. I got to go do a record. I got to go do a stream or whatever it is. I got to take the camera and the tripod and the computers and the monitors and the stands and the power cables and whatever it is. I got so much gear in my car sometimes. Number 2, the synonyms are equipment and paraphernalia, as in fishing gear. Really, I think they could have combined all this stuff probably. Just like all, the stuff that you take for your thing. I think that's what the definition should have been. The stuff you need for your thing, the thing that you do. Number 3, 3A, the rigging of a ship or boat is the gear. Number 3B, the harness, especially of horses. So why are 3A and 3B part of the same thing? Why are they part of 3? The rigging on a ship or a boat, the harness on a horse. Is it because there's similar types of things? Similar types of, I don't know, just stuff that are used in both of those situations? And that's why they're both number 3? I don't know. Number 4 is a dialect, chiefly British, and it is absurd talk, and the synonym is nonsense. So yeah, this is definitely not a way that I think I'm used to using or hearing this word. Gear. Absurd talk. You're just talking gear. Get your gear out of here. That's ridiculous. Well, that one's interesting. Number 5 is also dialect, chiefly British, and the synonym is doings. The things that you are doing out there in the world, what's their gear? What are they doing with their lives? British people, tell me. Is it, and the first one, number 4, is it a dialect of a specific part of maybe Great Britain? And then the doings is another part? Are they both specific dialects? And how did that happen? How did they evolve from this area said doings is gear and this one said nonsense is gear? How did that happen? British people, again, please tell me what you got going on over there. What do you have going on over there? Well, by the way, I just find this interesting, I guess, that these first handful of definitions were all about the things that you're using for a task, a thing, fishing, the things that you're moving things around, your clothes, the on a boat for a horse. So was that the original use of this word gear? Because then now we move into 6A1, a mechanism that performs a specific function in a complete machine, not an incomplete machine. It won't work in an incomplete machine. It has to be a complete machine. So one of the pieces of a machine that's doing a specific function is a gear. How did we get to that? The example is steering gear. Steering gear. Number 6A2 is a toothed wheel. I believe this is absolutely what most people think of when they think of a gear in a machine. They think of a wheel that has teeth all along the edges so it can interlock with another one. Ooh, and there is a picture of, I guess it's a complete machine. There's a sort of a wooden frame, like a table, and then on top of that, there is one wheel that has no teeth, and then connected to that one from the middle part, there is a small gear that is a wheel, but it's got teeth along it, so it's a gear. And then that's connected to a bigger one that has also teeth along it. If we didn't figure out how to put these gears together at different sizes and things, then we would have no machines. We would be nothing without these gears. Okay, now we have 6A3. This is working, relation, position, order, or adjustment. What? Is that a definition? Working relation, position, so it would be working relation or working position or working order or working adjustment. That's the whole definition. As in the example, got her career in gear. Get your career in gear. Get that career in gear. Maybe your career is steering a car. Get that career in gear with some steering gear. Got her career in gear. So working relation, position, orders, like all those things, you got to put it together. It's in gear now. 6A4, a level or pace of functioning, as in kicked their performance into high gear. Well, I just kicked my podcast performance into low gear because I went down from 5 days a week to 3 days a week. I'm so sorry if that has confused you, but I had to bring it down into low gear so I can just have a smoother ride. Or is that how that works? I don't know. I never did a manual car. Now we move on to 6B. One of two or more adjustments of a transmission, as of a bicycle or a motor vehicle, that determine mechanical advantage, relative speed, and direction of travel. Right there. We're talking about, a manual car. You got to shift the thing to get into different gears. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, maybe sixth gear. How high do the gears go in cars? I think most top out at 4 or 5. And I understand the concept of how to do this, that as you're in first gear, as the car is going, that the RPMs are really getting up there, and it's like, I can't really go anymore because you got me in first gear. If you shift it over to second gear, then I can get going. And there's some mechanical stuff going on inside with different gears to make it more efficient. And so when you're ready, you put your left foot on the clutch, which is going to change something on the inside to say, okay, we're shifting, we're gonna make a movement now. And then you take this one over here, probably with your right hand, and you go, and you take it down into second gear. And that makes a shift happen. And then you let go of the clutch, and you got to do it all at the right time and the right speed. And so your car doesn't go and die or something, stall out. Somebody tried to teach me in high school how to do a manual car. And after about 5 seconds, I said, nope, don't like this. I don't like the way you're teaching me. I'm done. I should probably learn. Gearless is an adjective. This brain up here, it's a little gearless sometimes. This word is from the Middle English ger, from Old Norse gervi or gorvi, which is akin to the Old English gerwe, which means, here it is, equipment or clothing. Also giru, which means ready, like maybe you do stuff with those things to get ready. And there's more at the word yare, Y-A-R-E. Yare, gear, okay. Slurp. We are now on our very last word, which is the second form of gear. It is a transitive verb from 1851. Number 1A, to provide with gearing, and the thing that you are providing with gearing is probably machinery. Well, that machine is not going to work until we gear it. You have to gear the machine. 1B, to connect by gearing. The action of gearing, maybe the stuff is gearing, because yes, we're going to see gearing in the next episode. Number 2A, to make ready for effective operation. Get it ready. And we saw that in the etymology of the previous one. To make ready for effective operation, because you can't have ineffective operation. You didn't get it ready. Once you get it ready, then the operation will be effective with all of the gears, because you have geared it. 2B, to adjust so as to match, blend with, or satisfy something, as in gearing wages to productivity. To productivity? To adjust so as to match, blend with, or satisfy. So you're adjusting the wages to the productivity. So, how does that work? So are you saying that to make people more productive, you're going to pay them more? You have to adjust the wages to match with the amount of productivity that there is or that you want. Maybe if they're not very productive, you're like, well, we're going to adjust your wages. We're going to gear your wages lower because you're not being very productive. But if you become more productive, then we'll gear your wages up. I don't think I've ever heard it used this way. These are transitive, by the way, because now we're moving to intransitive. Number 1A is British, and it's talking about machinery. To be in gear, and the synonym is mesh, because those gears are meshing with each other with their teeth. So gear the machine, or the machine has been geared because it's in gear. 1B, the synonym is the 1C definition for the word shift, like maybe shifting the car in gear. You got to go. The example is gear down. Number 2, to become adjusted so as to match, blend, or harmonize. And that would be similar to the gearing wages to productivity. It's just the intransitive version of that. All right. That was everything. Touchdown. Let's pick a word of the episode. Today we had gazetteer, gazillion, gazillionaire, gazagene, gazoo, gazpacho, GB, GB, GC, GCA, GCB, GCD, GCF, GClef, GD, GD, GDP, GDR, GE, GE, gear, and gear. I'm going to pick gazillionaire as the word of the episode. Someday I'm gonna be a gazillionaire. Someday I'm gonna have gazillions of dollars. They're gonna call me a gazillionaire. Yeah, that's totally gonna happen, especially with this podcast. All right, let's talk about another movie. J. Kelly. We watched J. Kelly. I think it was a little bit of an early, maybe not an early release, but I think it was an extremely limited release around the country when we saw it. And it's a very good movie. And I think they're already talking about Oscar nominations and stuff. It's the story of an old older actor guy who's going on a little bit of a journey. Honestly, I can't remember all the details at the moment because it's been a while. That's it. All right, time to go do stuff. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.